Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. So this is the fifth scenario in Nagash, Death at the Nine Demons. So this is kind of in chapter 2 of Nagash, but basically it kind of the scene switches, and this is where Manfred is actually trying to raise Nagash back up, and so there's a portal opened up, and the High Elves and the Dwarves, other people, are kind of converging on that spot to try to stop it. So this battle is the High Elves showing up, trying to stop the Nagash resurrection, and Manfred's forces trying to stop them. I can tell you, just reading the scenario rules, I think this is the best one so far. It seemed interesting. I think if people play the scenario over and over again, they'd probably figure out a way to break it for the attackers, and then be able to break the scenario for the defenders. And I don't know how it would pan out eventually, but for people who've only played it once or twice, it seemed like it was the most interesting one so far. So there's always a bunch of special rules, but the ones that really matter are the High Elves have to take Eltharion the Grim on Stormwing. Then they have to take basically a level 4 wizard and a High Elf Prince. And then the Vampire Counts have to take Manfred. And other than that, I think your lists they can be whatever you want. We chose 2,500 points. Um, the Vampire Counts player, my opponent, I think he put his list together a lot of times based on what he has. I mean, he's kind of building his army as he goes, so he's bringing a lot of the same things that he's been bringing in previous games. I actually did not. I was actually the secondary player on this. There's a new player in the area. The guy I played in my last battle report. I invited him just to play with us, so he put together our list, and he did 90% of the generalship on our side. I was there just acting like a peanut gallery, making comments and stuff like that. Anyway, so the way you win this game, if you're a High Elf, you have to kill the portal. The portal can only be attacked by Eltharion the Grim, and not the griffin he rides on, only by him. It is auto hit, it is toughness 6, and he's strength 6, so there's that. And it has it has 4 or 6 wounds, whatever. I think it has 4 wounds. So if the High Elves destroy that thing, they win, period. If Eltharion dies, the VC win, period. And whenever one of those two things happens, the scenario ends. Otherwise, it goes 6 turns. And if anything else happens, it's a draw. So it's kind of interesting that way. Nothing else, you can destroy the whole other team. It doesn't matter if you don't destroy the portal thing, or if you're the vampire player, if you don't kill Eltharion, nothing else matters. And High Elves get to go first. There's some advantages that High Elves have, but they weren't hugely impactful in the game. So here's the Vampire Council player. The skull there, that represents the portal. So he's got Blood Knights on the right-hand side. You can see some Skellies, some Vargeist. He's got his Black Knight unit. There's 2 vampires there. The one on the right is Manfred. And you just need to know his rules and stuff. He's okay. He's pretty good in magic because he knows every spell from the lore of vampires and the lore of death. And then he's got kind of a typical Red Fury, real BA vampire there. There's the obligatory Terrorgeist. And then you don't see, he has 2 more small units, 2 more 20-man units of skeletons, and a unit or 2 of dogs, but they're closer towards the middle of the table. So the High Elves, when we deployed, we have to deploy in kind of a space the shape of a T. So if you look in this picture at the top middle, there's no troops there because we can't. So everything that we could fit in the width of this at the table, in the middle of the table, we put everything there that we could. So it really dictates the kind of list that the High Elf can bring. You need to have really fast units if you want to get down to the table and help Eltharion attack that, help clear things up so Eltharion can attack the portal. You need flying units and then shooting units, and other than that, nothing else is going to be very helpful. So we have a Frostheart Phoenix, a big unit of Silverhelms. We have our 2 obligatory characters in there. So there's a level 4 Lore of Light, and there's the High Elf Prince. Then there's a BSB, as well as like a level, I think, 1 spellcaster as well. And of course, that unit has the banner of the World Dragon. There's the big eagle is actually not an eagle. That is Stormwing, and we're just pretending that Eltharion's on top of him. Then there's a Flameheart Phoenix or Flamefire Phoenix that broke off, and we couldn't fix it. At the top, you see some archers. There's a little dragon there that's actually an eagle, and then there's one unit of fast cav, and we have another unit of fast cav as well. So we're playing kind of a battle for the pass scenario. So we can only go up as far as you can see. I think that's 18 inches up in the middle, and on the sides we couldn't go up even further. The vampire counts could deploy anywhere in the first half. I actually have no idea why he put 2 units to the side. I think he may have been forgetting that the High Elves went first, although we did talk about it, because it just gives us some easy charges on the dogs on the right. And the skeletons on the left, I would love for him to leave a comment and tell us what his strategy was, because as far as I was concerned, they're not going to do a whole lot of good over there. So this is after Vanguard, and High Elves automatically get to go first, and so the Flamefire Phoenix charges dogs. That's easy. The other Phoenix charges one of the 2 units of skeletons at the top middle of this picture. I didn't feel that was necessary, but why not? It doesn't hurt anything. Everything else is as you can see it. That should be easy. These guys actually are not nearly as good in combat as I thought they would be. I think they're much better at flying over stuff and dropping their flaming egg on them, which we weren't doing. There's that. And yeah, Shem's Burning Gaze and just Lure of Light shenanigans. We take just a couple wounds off of the Terrorgeist. And yeah, 5 Illyrian Reavers open up on dogs, kill 3 of them. That was pretty good. And after combat, yeah, the Frostheart Phoenix actually took a wound. I was kind of surprised about that. Otherwise, he won easily. And yeah, obviously he's going to win that eventually. The dogs easily died. Then we go to Vampire Counts turn 1. For the most part, he's holding his lines back. He does fly up his Vargeists very aggressively to the bottom middle. I think that the Flame Phoenix could see them, and he would have just gotten torn up in combat. I think that Otharion the Grim could see the Vargeists, and I think it just wasn't a smart move to take him into combat, because if he dies, we lose the game, and we don't really need to worry about it, so he's just going to fly over him. During the magic phase, he raises a couple units. We both look at each other, and we don't care. Put it through. And after combat, the Frostheart Phoenix easily finishes off the rest of that unit, and is as you can see it. And we go to High Elf turn 2. So yeah, we charge the chaff that he raised up with the easy stuff. So we have fast cav on the top, we have the Flame Phoenix at the bottom, and otherwise we just kind of keep everything grouped there in the middle. We really would like to get that Terrorgeist dead, because that's the biggest thing I fear with Eltharion going after the portal in the back, is that thing just screaming at him. Easier said than done. You can see at the very bottom middle, we took Eltharion, just flew him out of line of sight of the Vargeists, although it was neither of our intention really to ever get him in combat with them. Yeah, so there are those. And then we throw a Shem's Burning Gaze, I think, at his Blood Knights. And I was saying throw it at the Terrorgeist, and then my opponent basically decided to do the Blood Knights instead. He said, if we put it with the Terrorgeist, there's a real good chance he's still going to survive. And then in our opponent's magic phase, every time he gets one of those spells off, he's healing the Vargeist up, or the Terrorgeist. So the Terrorgeist is back up to full wounds already. So he felt that if we got rid of Blood Knights, it'd be easier to just kill him dead. So we did it. You figure it's 2d6 hits on him. So we needed to do, I think, 4, maybe 5. He only had 4 or 5 there. Anyway, killed them all. So I think when I did the math, that was about what should happen. But intuitively, it didn't seem like it should have been done that well. Those just awful expensive Blood Knights that just got killed. Now, the one thing here with the skeletons, I can appreciate why you have skeletons there guarding that thing, but there's plenty of room behind it, behind the skeletons to hit the portal. And so I was kind of thinking he would just maybe put him like 2 or 3 wide in a pseudo conga line, so that Eltharion could not charge that portal. He would have to charge them first and work his way through them before he ever had a chance to get to the portal. When he gets to the portal, we were treating it like a building, so he has to charge it on our turn, and I think odds were it would take him 2 rounds of combat to kill it. So that means if we charge it on turn 5, we'd have to charge it again on turn 6, and then we win, but that's only if we get odds. So we really need to charge it earlier than that. So anything he can do to slow us down, would have hurt our odds. After combat, yeah, the Phoenix easily kills those skeletons. The fast cav are going to win, but they couldn't quite do the job. We're not really worried about it. Go to Vampire Count's turn 2. He moves his Terrorgeist down here so when Eltharion moves up so that we can charge the portal on turn 4, he knows he's going to get at least one scream off unless we can kill that thing. His Vargeist charged the flank of the Flame Phoenix, and everybody else, like I said, everybody else is just kind of holding back. Neither of those knights want to charge the other or get charged by the other. Yeah, there's that. And during the magic phase, he raises up more. And again, we don't need these guys to do anything. I mean, anything they kill doesn't help us win the game necessarily. I think we get a victory if we destroy the portal, and we get a crushing victory if the characters of this unit are still alive, so we can accomplish that without getting in combat. What they do need to do is pose a threat so that his Knight bus can't go over and mess with Eltharion. So that's why I think we're not really too worried about these guys being raised up. Meanwhile, the Vargeists absolutely flub their attacks. They do a single wound on the Fire Phoenix, and they should have just killed him. He broke from combat. He got away by bouncing through everything. You can see him on the far side of all these units. They overran and hit the flank of the Silverhelm bus, which really I'm not really that worried about. What it's going to do is hold us up from moving our turn, but once we go to combat, I think it's going to be fine. We go to High Elf turn 3. Of course, the big bus just sits there so it can fight the Vargeist. The Frostart Phoenix charges the chaff in front, and the Eagle flies up to chaff up the Black Knights. Eltharion, meanwhile, is on the very far right of this picture. He took a wound. I don't think he took a wound. I think the Griffin took a wound from something. I'm just not sure. So he set up. It's turn 3 now, so on turn 4... wait, we failed dangerous terrain in that forest, so Stormwing took a wound. So unless my opponent reforms, turn 4 he's going to get into that portal. What I was expecting my opponent to do is to reform those guys, like I said, put them in a line so we just cannot touch it. I think we can hit the flank of the skeletons and chew through them maybe in one turn, but regardless, it would take our turn 4 to do that, and if we didn't chew through all of them, we wouldn't be able to charge the portal on maybe not on turn 5 if he can grow some back. So that's the worry over there. The Flame Phoenix, of course, rallies. You can see there's fighting at the very top, some fast cav and archers against some skeletons. It makes absolutely no difference at all in the game. After combat, yeah, I don't think his Vargeist did any wounds. They just flubbed everything. And we easily, just did some wounds and killed him through combat res and reformed, and we're still just sitting there. Meanwhile, when the Frostart Phoenix killed the chaff, it overran and is serving as additional chaff. And yeah, there's the meaningless combat up top. High Elves are winning that. So we go to Vampires. They've taken a few wounds. I don't remember how or why or whatever, but they charge the Flame Phoenix and they kill it and decide not to overrun. And over here is Terrorgeist screams at Eltharion and did, I think, 1 wound. So this was kind of funny because I was just freaking out at those Terrorgeists the whole game, and my opponent was just like, yeah, whatever. He's very, very unlikely to do anything to him, or especially not to kill him, so who cares? And he turned out to be right. So we got a High Elf turn 4. At this point, the Silverhelm bust can charge the Black Knights. We left the Frostart Phoenix where he was, so we're kind of clipping him a little bit. Eltharion charges the portal. Yeah. There's that. And they made such short work of that unit. So the real baddie vampire, the guy who's just, kills everything, Red Fury, blah, 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 he has a magic weapon, so this unit gets a 2-up ward against that guy. He didn't want to make way with Manfred because he felt that he might just get killed, and he can't have that. And yeah, so he basically did no wounds to us. We did a few wounds to him. We had a charge. We had less static combat res. Pop the unit outright, dead. General's dead. Everything starts crumbling. It felt a little too easy. We charged it on turn 4. He did exactly half the wounds on the portal like the math said he should. And so then we just didn't do anything, just said we rolled him for charging turn 5, and he killed the thing, and we still had turn 6 in case we needed it. So the game ended there. So, yeah, I felt that it ended up being very one-sided. I felt that my opponent was still bringing kind of an easy list because so many of the scenarios are so weighted in his favor, and this is one that wasn't necessarily weighted in his favor. Although I do think if you would have kept those other skeleton units back and had 4 skeleton blocks all around that thing, I think it might have been tough to get there in time. I think I might have been complaining that it'd be a more fun scenario if we weren't limited to 6 turns. Because we still have to keep the guy alive, but he could just chaff up everything around that portal and just say, screw you, what are you going to do? Of course, once his general died, then the Terrorgeist and everything started popping, and it just got really, really easy. So, yeah, I don't like the Banner of the World Dragon, and I don't even like it when I'm using it. It just felt like such a crutch. You can't hurt us with magic. Screw you. We're going to put all our points. We're going to put 4 characters and just all our points in this one unit, and you can't hurt it with shooting, and you're going to have a real tough time hurting it in combat. I don't know. I think I'm going to gripe about that item until they get a book, if they ever do. So anyway, that's it for the 5th scenario of Nagash. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.